No one's here today, not even Miss Star.
Everyone's probably busy looking into exactly what went down in the evidence room. Must be where the detectives are.
We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
And instead, it looks like we ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
Now I remember where we go.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. It looks like he's writing something.
What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. That's another allegation to me.
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
Because he's not like the other boys.
So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
You crazy. Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what that girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look.
What? Letter of...
If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. Resignation, Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
I'm pretty sure that probably happened when your pops died, but okay. Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything.
We're hanging on to that.
Okay, now let's talk to him. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can change the fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. That bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. And Zoro just fell. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as a prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation. I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. There was really only one thing on my mind at the time.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time? Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture, something seems strange about it. I'll deal with that in a minute. Could you tell us again what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Had to.
because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the mornings and drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day, that is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gann asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence that was used to close. It was closed half a year ago. And he asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. It's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. That's right.
Okay. I don't know if we could just view this. I wonder if we'd show it. Was that it?
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall's holding. It's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right.
God, I hate that stupid look. Why did they let this be a thing now?
I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor's. That's what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
I mean, technically I have, because this is my second time playing it, but y'all haven't.
Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows it. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Yeah. Very well.
Edgeworth story time.
Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow! Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant.
Here's the thing. I am making connections in my brain, and there's one thing that I've not been sure about, and I'm like, I can't bring this up. Excuse me. Would either of you care for a 1/4 pounder of roast beef? The fact that you were just carrying, like, a box of roast beef. Girly Pop, when did you start working for Arby's?
Miss Star, I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from the case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness?
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. I don't really care for roast beef. I don't know. I've never enjoyed it.
The star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll soon not forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. This man turned himself in after committing all the crimes. Like, this is the issue that I'm having with this one. Because the things aren't adding up. You can't sit there and be like, we were trailing him. All it seemed that he did was a spree of crimes. Like, it does not feel like he went... Also, I don't even think... Like, there doesn't have to be, like, a certain victimology. Which he definitely doesn't have. But it doesn't... From how they make it sound, there is not a cooldown period. This guy killed a bunch of people, then it went. That's just how it sounds. So I don't understand how they were trailing him for a half a year. Am I just reading this wrong? Hold on. I need to check. And I went the wrong way. Here's the thing. None of these have names. None of them. So it's safe to say Edward Jones was the kid he ran over and killed. Then Edith Kirby or Jason Knight, I'm not sure which, one of them was the witness that he killed and then continued to kill. Because it made it sound like there were witnesses. Now, granted, we're pulling that information from... Who am I thinking? Gumshoe. So, like, there's a chance it is wrong, but... Wait, Oh, well. Again. Am I missing something with the SL9 incident? Is there something that I'm reading into? Like, there's probably a good chance that I'm reading into something too much, but I'm like, it's not fitting for me. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana Skye. My sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana, Chief Gant. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation with Lana's second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
By that, I mean his ability to track evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Almost like they appeared out of thin air.
Incredible evidence, you mean?
Oh, yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though.
I take it she's talking about forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh, yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. And that's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. And when Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she'd lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. And that's what makes it all the more infuriating. Star. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? And that legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while others were kept secret.
But you don't have proof anything illegal was done.
I'm proof enough of what happened.
After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much of an explanation.
Then Lana's guy transferred to the chief prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor.
Nothing's quite as simple as it appears.
Huh?
Lana's guy was merely used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence.
Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way.
In the prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office.
That must have been his goal all along.
But how could he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same.
It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change.
At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr.
You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine.
Yeah, so why are you carrying a quarter pound of just roast beef?
Like, put it in a bento. You can do something with it. I don't know what, because I don't like roast beef.
I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Okay, I think we're done with Angel. So, let's go back to the police department.
Ah, you're back!
No, you're still here.
I gotta make 150 copies of these files. I'm throwing copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ! I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. And be my neck on the line.
That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's gotta be something we can do to make that detective change his mind.
Yes, we do.
What's this gumped up piece of paper? No way. Miss Edgeworth can't be serious.
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe they pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. And when I first met him, I thought he was cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we just betrayed him. Detective! That's it, I made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card.
We can't do that if someone found out.
Wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me, it's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Miss Edgeworth, and depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What?
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
All right, detective. Thank you. And now we have gumshoes. Let's head up to the chief's office.
Here goes, Mr. Wright. We're in. If anyone finds us now...
Detective Gumshoe's a goner.
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out.
sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost.
Detective Gumshoe, what are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. That's all I came to.
If you're here, then what's the point of you giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket.
Hey, don't do that to my god.
Oh, I thought Gumshoe did that.
I had to get a chance to come in here, and so I figured I'd have a look around myself. And besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? And not up for lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
See it?
He has more stuff. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
It's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. Told us so himself at a New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see.
So Gant drunk is just like no filter and just does not shut up. Interesting.
So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? And no one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who was in the each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of those SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's the only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think, nah. You wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind, don't worry about it.
Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on, not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
And when someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to stop bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go with that.
Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
Chief Gant, so it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best if I don't divulge my feelings yet.
And there you go, ignoring me again.
Okay, let's look around.
It's over here.
Shelves are mostly empty. She moved there's a small picture on the left shelf.
Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park.
Okay. Oh.
This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy.
Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner.
It's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. And has Lana ever come back here?
And no, and Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. And it was stuff legends were made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime?
And Chief's organs sure sick to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing up in the criminal affairs department.
It's on the second floor. This is the 15th floor of an entirely different building!
And when the detective screws up, Chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears.
So it's an instrument of punishment, literally.
Aren't the Chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway.
That's besides the point.
This was taken on that day 2 years ago.
Day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma.
to the souvenir's wardrobe, and Mr. Marshall took a picture here. And went along with Chief Gant to question Doc. And Benny never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Gee, you think?
So that was taken, like, here.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier, put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
List of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? That's on that incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about evidence list. Normally they're twice as long.
Ah, that's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
Half-size list of evidence. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so.
Do we have that other one? Oh, I thought we had it. Okay, no, we don't. Found that inside the drawer. Oh.
Wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here.
What is it? Did you find something?
I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing.
Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright?
I'd better not forget about this picture. So now we have that. This is the real deal, isn't it? This weapon and these This weapon and these...
My god, this armor and these weapons. Holy fucking shit.
That sure is about Chief doesn't care for imitations.
First a pipe organ, now this armor. You know how many taxpayer dollars has gone into this room?
What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes.
You gotta love that, huh? You don't have any taxes to pay.
You're 16, girl. Don't... I mean, you should be filing your taxes, because, like, if you're working, more than likely you're going to get all of your tax return back. So whatever they're taking out of your taxes in whatever job, 9 to 5, W-2 one they're paying. Because I feel like a lot of people that I used to work with, like, they were, like, high school age. I don't think any of them ever, like, technically filed their taxes, because they would have gotten most of it back. I think. I don't know. America tries to play not like the other countries, and it's just 50 countries in a trench coat. It's fine.
Shh. Careful what you say. Who knows? Chief may be hiding in his armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Wrong voice, it's fine.
Cut it out. You two don't know how scary that guy can be.
This is safe, isn't it?
Safe? And that word is ripe with intrigue.
Okay, if you say so.
Looks like a code's needed to be entered into the panel to open it.
7-digit number. I think I might know what it is. I know what it is not because I had this inkling the first time I did. I promise you. Because it's the only 7-digit code that we have.
And you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. And you want to try my birthday?
I want to try Gumshoe's birthday. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Okay.
God, it makes it so easy. You might as well have used your birthday, get.
Bingo.
What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal?
All them 7s. The final ID card number on that record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
Hey, you mean 7777777. Did I get all of them? I don't know. That ID number?
I think you're 1/7 shy this time. It's gonna only mean one thing. It's Chief Gant's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside? Yes, I want to look inside. Is there any money in there? How much is stashed away? Look, it's a shot from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
There's something else in here too.
What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth.
This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? Is that all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, a broken shot from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I just can't let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great, now I have to prove this relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's gotta be something we should show the detective.
First of all, Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Those are the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right, one of the shots had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found?
And you mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Let's assemble. And go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
If I can piece it back together, I'll prove that Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
But, hey guys, get a load of this.
What is it?
This beach you just attached. It's different than the others.
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line, that's blood.
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in a safe?
I think we can... I don't know if we can do this yet. Hold on. I'm curious if we can do this. Hold on. Hey, look here. It's dark to make out, but there's a dark red stain here.
Looks like blood.
This piece of blood stain on the others are just for spots. But this one's a line.
It's odd.
Oh, we can't do it yet. Okay. Sorry, again, I know what happens, and my brain is like, now what do we bring up?
Let's present that. If I'm fired, I won't be able to give you any information. That's why I have to stay out of my system. You understand, don't you?
Be so negative, detective. We do want to share your information, though.
Oh, who am I for? I never had any useful information to share with.
Ugh, gotta stay positive. Wait, that wasn't it? Because I thought we had to prove, like, the shirt, the cloth, because we need the cloth. Okay, so we've examined pretty much everything. Okay. Okay, so we actually can move out. Interesting. Okay. Let's go back up to the chief's office. Help. Wonder if we can do this. I'd like you. You want to take someone's fingerprints? That's a great idea, detective. All right, goes down. Sheesh. How you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you sticking your head out like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the imprint on it, right?
I accidentally spoiled something. It's fine.
Sheesh, right here sense of humor. It's fine. Fucked up. It's fine. Okay, Miss Wright, let's check for fingerprints. Sprinkle the powder onto the cloth, then... Okay, we know how to do this. We just sprinkle the cocaine everywhere. And you're just gonna hear all of, like, the pressing. At some point, I will get a controller that you're not gonna hear the audible clicking. At some point. Who knows when?
I give it my best shot.
The kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
And it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from the print.
Okay, let's try a different finger then. More cocaine. I really do like the investigation one of this. However, I'm gonna say is if it feels like all the investigations are shoddy like this one, then I'm like,
Give it my best shot, so...
I did thumb. Let's try this one. I think I might have got it the first time I did this, because I don't remember them being like, oh, that's not a good finger. There we go. Are you kidding me? That wasn't enough? Boo! Okay, we'll sprinkle the cocaine around. Here we go.
No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. Thought they'd be Dark's prints. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What's the kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Yeah, maybe you should hold on to this. Well, was that any help?
Of course, thanks to your ID card, we'll be able to get some hard evidence. Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless? Isn't that right, you in the coat?
Chief can't.
We didn't think you'd be back. Don't confess! I'm Bartlett, a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog running right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective.
Do you mean, me, son? You mean me? Okay.
And now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry. I also love how the safe is technically still open. Kind of hilarious.
Oh, you with the coat?
Misa.
Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore.
Sir.
Now get out.
Yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
Sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hair, you're free to go.
Mr. Wright! Look, pal, if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. No, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but I knew it'd be like this. Never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why is she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. And later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day.
I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning?
It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
But I've already told you all I can.
What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman.
You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job mentoring me. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right.
Edgeworth?
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name?
Take that!
Well, Miss Sky.
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective.
Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, these are serious offenses.
Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant?
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was...
me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
Yeah, she is, but also one other, Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case.
Hold on. I just found this in a safe in Chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. You know what these are. They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him?
Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I
had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered the murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got the blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. Before it got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. Edgeworth's exhaust pipe? Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this.
So you wanted to bring your sister into hiding evidence, into obstructing a crime scene. You wanted your sister to commit a crime.
Oh boy. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. Phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? Lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke with him, he went off on an escapade himself. Oh, you mean? Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room.
Wouldn't you be able to just put in false information?
I don't know how tech savvy he is. After my phone call, any remaining doubt he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court today. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down to the chief's office 2 years ago.
And that's it for this episode. We'll be going back to the original recording and taking care of the final day
I'll see y'all then. Bye.
Woo!